Okay, I'll share my screen. Um, okay, can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Wait. How to show? There. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yep.
Okay. I prepared a few slides so that we can go through like the objectives and the steps on how to install Power BI. So just in case some of you have not installed Power BI on your machine, I'll just show you, I'll walk you through the steps on how to install it. So our objectives for today is actually to get the users, or to all of you, be familiar with the Power BI UI and basic features, and for you to be able to create a simple dashboard after this presentation. So yeah, we'll cover the user interface. So there are different aspects of the user interface, the report, data, and model. And then you have the Power Query Editor. This is where you do the data manipulation and processing. And you can also connect to the database through the Power Query. And yeah, will also discuss about connecting to different data sources, and then we'll start creating our Power BI report. So you need the Microsoft account to be able to install the software. And then you need to go to the Play Store or App Store to download the Microsoft Authenticator on your phone. And then yeah, you need to download the software, and then yeah, so those three are the prerequisites to install the Power BI. But for this demo, actually I should have sent you a worksheet earlier, but okay, but we'll do that later. So this is how to install Power BI. We just download this file from the Microsoft website, and then maybe I will just okay, do it in presentation mode. Okay, so it will just show you a series of screens, and then, or windows, and then you just click next. The usual, way of installation. And then yeah, so you just click until you reach finish. And then it will ask you for a Microsoft account. So if you have one, you need to sign in to register. And then once you provide your login credential in Microsoft, it will ask for approval through your Microsoft authentication that is installed on your phone when you have installed it earlier. So when you launch Power BI, this is the initial window that pops up. And then you just close this window, and then you'll see the Power BI desktop. Okay, I'll now proceed to the desktop. Okay, there. So this is the Power BI desktop. So you have if you're familiar with Microsoft products such as Excel and PowerPoint, it's easy to navigate through the different features and the different buttons and menu options of Power BI. You have here at the left side, you have the report. This is where you draw or you construct your report or your dashboard.
Joy,
And then
we're
we're
still looking at PowerPoint.
Ah, is it? Oh, wait. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, how to share? Okay. I can only share one one application at a time. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. Perfect.
So this is your Power BI UI. So once you like launch this application from your desktop or from your like Windows start. So you'll see this UI, and then at the left side you have the different like areas to work on. So this the first part is report. So this is where you create your dashboard. So a dashboard can be composed of multiple pages. So you might have different areas, subject areas to report on, or different uh, like dimensions you want to report on. So you can have multiple pages. So this can be converted as tabs earlier when you publish it. And then you have the data, which is this is like a table. It will display all the columns and rows. And then the model is where you define your ERD. Okay, so I'll just go through the UI first, and then I'll show you an example. And then, okay, so probably I'll show you one. Can you see my screen now? The Great Lake historical ice coverage. Okay, so I'll stop sharing again, and then I'll share the Great Lake. Okay, this is a sample application that I built. Can you see the Great Lakes historical ice coverage?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so so I'm now at the report section. So I have here, it's only one page, but I can also create another page if I want to. But now I only have the Great Lakes page, the one page for this dashboard. And so what I was telling you earlier, that if you go to data, it will show the table itself that you have uploaded or you you loaded into Power BI. And then if you have multiple tables, you can just select them from here, and then it will show you the data. And then the model is where you build the ERD, the entity relationship diagram. So if you have multiple tables, you can connect them through the ID. I'm assuming you know the primary and foreign key concept, so I won't cover that here, but this is where you link together the different tables. Okay, so and then here you can like expand or collapse this panel. So we have the filter where you can build filters for this page or for a particular chart or visualization. So there you can define your filters. And then this is the visualization is where all your chart types are. So let's say I want to add a pie chart. I'll just click and then it will appear here, and then you can define whatever data you want to be added in your pie chart. So I'll demonstrate that later. I'll just walk you through the different features. So what's nice about Power BI is that all the charts are already built in. You just have to click them, and then you define the axis, the fields. You assign the fields, the axis, the legend, the values. Okay, and then if you have if you want to display a chart that is not already here, you can also download them from the Microsoft website. So and then you can import them here into Power BI. And then the third panel is your fields. So this is where all your tables are and all your fields are listed. And then you can drag them over to your charts. Okay, and then if you want to like connect to different sources, so the available databases that you can connect to are Excel, those famous ones, SQL Server. I'm not sure if they can do Oracle, but those are and then CSV, of course, and then other options here. But I am familiar with is the workbook, the spreadsheet, CSV, and SQL Server. Okay, so for our demo later, we'll be using spreadsheet. Okay, and then so those are the important ones. And then so I now have what you're looking at is the Power BI desktop, where you can easily build your dashboard and report. But if you want to publish this to a website, usually corporations have their own reporting server. So you will have to publish this, and then you will be asked for your workspace where you want to publish it. And then, okay, I already have an existing report of the same name, so it will ask me if you want to replace. And then once it is published, okay, yeah, can you see the web version, or you're not seeing it? I will stop again and share.
Yeah.
Okay, share. There. Okay, can you see the web version? Can you see the web?
We see just a small dialogue
No.
publishing to Power BI.
Um,
This and that's it.
Okay, how to share the whole desktop so that I won't have to stop it. Can you see it now?
Still showing the Power BI.
Oh, okay. We'll go to that later. But it's just that I have just published it on the website. Okay, let's see. Let's go back. Okay, so I'll start from. Okay, so I'm now back to Power BI. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, the one that's empty.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We'll start. I'll do the demo now. If you have your Power BI, how long you have installed it?
I haven't
It's okay
installed.
if you haven't.
I have I have installed it.
Okay.
Are you
I'll
gonna
send you the.
okay.
Do you want me to send you the link? Sheena, do you want to follow along, or I'll just walk you?
Yeah,
I'll
you
just
can
demonstrate
share
first. Okay. So can you see this open dialog box?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so I will go to the Great Lake. Actually, what I'll show you first what this table is about. Yeah, so I downloaded this file from a website. It shows the Great Lakes historical ice coverage from 1973 to 1920, to 2020. So it has the lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, Ontario, all lakes. I think these lakes are in between US and Canada. So they're measuring the percentage of snow coverage, whether it's 100% fully covered by snow and in which year, or if it's 50% covered by snow for certain years. So you need to unpivot the file, the spreadsheet. So I unpivoted the spreadsheet in Excel. So it appears like this. So I have 3 columns. Can you see the 3 columns? Year, lakes, and values.
Yeah.
So the spreadsheet has these 3 columns and year from 1973 to 2020. So I will load them now into Power BI. Okay, so Okay, once it's loaded, if you go to data, there. So earlier we didn't see any table here, right? In this data section or data window. So now we can see the year, lakes, and value. And at the right side, you also see the table name and the fields. And then if I go to data model, you now have the table itself. And in case you want to add more tables, you can add more tables and connect them here. So if we go back to the report, so it's blank because we haven't added any visualization. So okay, I added a visualization. Okay, I'll remove it first. Okay, I want to add a text box because I want to add my title. So there is my text box. And then in this text box, you can just type Great Lake Coverage. I just, wait, ice coverage. Okay. This is just like using PowerPoint. And then you increase the size. Maybe I'll just do it 28. And then if you want a color for this, you can go to the format text box, and then you can choose a color. So there. And then if you want to change this, it's really just like using PowerPoint, you know, combining all your Microsoft skills in different Microsoft products. And then I want to build a line graph. But first, I want a matrix. I want to see all the lakes side by side. So I clicked here, matrix, and then I will add the year as my row, and then the lake as my column, and then the value for the values. So there. And then I don't want to show the grand totals. With the subtotal. I don't want to show them, so I'll turn it off. So it will not appear. And then I think there's another option here for another total column header. So if you want to like format the column headers, like increase the font, you can set them here. And then the row headers, if you want also to change the font, like if you want to increase the font, you can increase them here. And then conditional formatting. If you want to change the color, conditional field formatting. Okay, background color there. So I want because I want to emphasize those with high percentage of ice coverage. So I set this to on. So the darker the color, it means there are more snow for that lake in that year. So that's the way to read this. So for if you scroll through the records, you'll see that Like you have in 2019, the lake with the highest percentage of snow is the one it's easy for you to to see visually which one has the highest percentage of snow based on the color, and then which one has the lowest percentage of snow based on the if the color is light. So that's the way to read this matrix. And then I'm trying to, you can actually switch off, hide this total. Okay, but you cannot find the subtotal, grand total. So anyway, I'll just display it first here. So it's okay. I also don't like to show the all lake. I just want to compare the different lakes. So I can do a filter on this visual, filters on this visual, and then go to lakes and then select all except all lakes. So it will hide the all lakes option, all lakes column. So you can now see this and then this total. Okay, I'll leave it for now. Wait, because it's so small, I cannot find the option to switch this off. I can actually switch this off, this total column, so it won't appear. So anyway, so this is one visual, and then I can also show a line graph. So if you just click on that line chart, so we have the line chart here, and then I want to do I just want to display the line chart for so the year. Let's say I want to for Erie only. So I have the year for my axis, and then the value here. So there, I have the value, but this is for all. So for this visual, I will have to filter it by the lake. By the lake. So I just want to show Erie. So there. So this is the trend for the Lake Erie, and then I can change the title. So if you want the title to be automatically set, you can use the formula here, and then field value lakes. Let's try. Oh, so there. So there's your Erie. Okay, and then so I want to replicate this for Huron, Michigan, Ontario, and Superior. So I can just copy and then paste. So it's like creating your chart in Excel, and then you just change the lake from Erie to Huron. So you have Huron, and then you do that again for the other lakes. Copy and paste. But now, instead of Huron, I want to have it for Michigan. And then I'll copy and paste again so that I can have one for, maybe I'll have to resize this first. And then Michigan, Ontario. So there. And then copy it again for Superior. And then change that to Superior. Okay, there. So I have, I now have the different trend lines for the 5 rivers, 5 lakes. And then if you want to have this is a menu option, there's what they call slicer. Okay, so there is my slicer. And then I want the slicer to be by year. So there is your year. But then you can also change the display if you want to do a drop down. So you can select the year. And then this seems to be a multi-select. So there. And then yeah, you can select either drop down if you want like what you saw earlier. You have this like a button you can scroll. So maybe I'll just select the drop down. Okay, my battery is running low. Okay, then. So here is my my chart. It's very easy. In 10 minutes, I have my chart. But you can beautify that. And then actually, I just change the background. Actually, I can also show you how to change the background. If you go to visualization, I just select at the, don't select anything, and then go to format, and then change background, and then select a color. Like if you want a light blue, wait, page background. Oh, sorry, I should have chosen wallpaper. So for the wallpaper, there. And then you can change the transparency if you want a lighter color. There. So you can see if the like visualization have overlap. And then you can also change the color of the visualization itself if you want. Yeah, so that is how to build the dashboard. And then I'll move to the actual dashboard that I built that was already a bit formatted. So I'll just share this one. Okay, this is a bit formatted or nicer. Can you see the Great Lakes historical ice coverage? Percentage of lakes in North America covered by ice from 2000 to 2020, because I filtered the values from 2000 to 2020. So can you see this? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit nicer, more aligned than the one I previously built. So are you convinced that it's easy to to create a report in Power BI? It's just a matter of few clicks. Okay, actually what's challenging is the database and the table format. Okay, so what we had earlier, yeah, it was just quite simple. We have only 3 columns and yeah, a few records, and also they are already grouped together. Now I'll show you another. Okay, so that's one example. I'll show you another example. But I'll show you first the data. Okay, we'll move on to another project. So I downloaded this from KaiHi. So they have this survey of hospitalizations, the cost of hospitalizations among 5 diseases, including COVID. So if you download it from the website, it will be like this. But of course, Power BI cannot read it in this format. So you have to change, you have to remove the, of course, the title, the header, and even this grouping, these blank spaces will be treated as blank in Power BI. So you have to duplicate this. So basically you have to format this in a way that Power BI can understand. So I'll move to another sheet. Okay, which I have formatted. Okay, can you see this? Formatted,
Yeah.
this one. The green.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did the pivoting. So I removed the header earlier, the title, and then I duplicated these values. I copied them over so that each line has value. And then with Excel, Power Pivot, you can do the unpivoting. So it will appear like this. So instead of having like multiple columns until G, you now have 4 columns. Okay, and then your cases or your sickness will now be records instead of columns. So I uploaded this in Excel. I uploaded this in a Power BI. So I'll stop again, and then I will launch the Power BI. Okay. So there. So when I have uploaded this in, I showed you earlier how to upload this, right? So just go to Excel workbook button, and then you just select the folder and the file. Okay, and then once you click open, it will be uploaded in Power BI, and it will be like this. Same as the spreadsheet I showed you earlier, except that I added a new column because the values vary. Some are in percentage and some are in actual value. So I created a new column. So it's just create column, new column, and then this is just the formula, hospitalization. I just copied over. They're actually the same, except that I had this formatted into percentage, and then this value is in decimal number. Can you see the difference? So when I uploaded this, I only have 4 columns, and then I created a new column called percentage value with the same value as the value column. But the difference between the two is that this is in percentage, and then this is in decimal number. Okay, because I need that later in my visualization in my dashboard. So this is your data area, so where you can see the different columns and records. And then if you go to data model, you'll see the table again. And if you have multiple tables, you can link them together here in this data model area or model section. So I'll now go to the report, and then this is the report that I created earlier. So now what happened here is I also filtered them. So as I did earlier, I just filtered the metrics. So each of these bar charts have different metrics. I have filtered them. So you can see just like the median age metric and then the number of hospitalization. Okay, I'll go back to the data again. So this is the metric. So the table is structured in such a way that it will not count the records anymore. It will just display the exact cell or the exact value of the row. So I have different metrics for number of hospitalizations, percentage involving ICU, percentage involving ICU ventilation, percentage who died in the facility, median age, average length of stay, and then estimated cost, number of hospitalizations, and then and so forth. And it's also categorized whether the hospitalization is with ICU or not. Okay, what I did here, I have a slicer, a menu. So if you select that chart, it will be highlighted here in the visualization. It means that's the type of visualization utilized. So it's a slicer. So for this slicer, I also filtered this such that it's only displaying the hospitalization with no ICU, non-ICU and with ICU. So I removed all hospitalization. So again, these are just a matter of um, filtering. Okay, I will replicate this just to show you how to build the charts. Okay, but I won't upload the spreadsheet anymore because I've already uploaded it here. So it's already in Power BI. Okay, and also take note that when you upload or connect to a data source, it will grab or extract the data. And when you change the source data, it will not automatically refresh the data that you extracted into Power BI. You need to initiate the refresh either manually or automatically, like for every 2 hours, every 4 hours. Yeah, so once you have uploaded the data in Power BI, it will be maintained there and will only be refreshed once you initiate the refresh. Okay, so I want to build a dashboard. I will replicate this dashboard, but instead of opening a new Power BI, I'll just create a new page. Okay, so again, same as while doing PowerPoint, you just click the text box and then you just type hospitalization and cost. I think the title is cost of hospitalization in Canada. So I will just increase the font, maybe bigger, and then change it to white, and then I'll change the background to purple. There. And then I want to build what was that we have? Total average cost. For the this chart actually it's a card. So if I click this, you'll see that it's a card. So I will select the card and then choose the value. Wait, I want to see the average total cost. Okay, so I want the value, but then I should filter this by the metric. The metric is average estimated cost. Yeah, estimated cost. But it's okay. I think I should select the slicer first because it's retrieving everything, all the hospitalization type. So I'll have the menu here and then hospitalization type, and then I'll select a drop down of display. So or I can also actually I can have it as list, but then there's an option here whether you want a single select. So I want a single select, and then I don't want to display the all hospitalization. Okay, so there. So I now have the slicer. So the value here changed because it's now just retrieving either data which are either hospitalization non-ICU or hospitalization ICU. Okay, and then here it's rounding off 2000. So what you can do is display unit, change it to none. So it will display until the units. So that's my card for estimated cost. And then I want to change the title. I want to have a title for a total cost. And then I want it set in the middle. And then I want to increase the font, maybe 16. And then I want to remove the value there. This term, this word. So it's here. I'll just switch this off. So there. So I have a card. And then I want to have another card for the what is that? Total number of hospitalizations. So maybe I can just copy this and then change the metric to cost number of hospitalizations there, and then change the title. So instead of total cost, I will have total number of hospitalization, or total number of hospitalization. So there. So I now have here two cards. Okay, so before I add the other visualization, I want to change the wallpaper so it's easy for me to see those cards. Maybe I'll change this to transparency. So there. So it's very easy. If you're very good at copying and pasting, you can easily do that in Power BI. So again, I want to replicate the number of hospitalizations. So this is a bar chart. So I want a bar chart, maybe this one. And then I want to display, what was that? Number of hospitalizations per type of disease. Okay, because what we have here is the total number of hospitalizations, but I want to break them down. So I'll use the case for my axis, and then the value column for the values, and then yep, and then I want to filter this by no, I think it's fine. Well, okay, I want to change the formatting such that it will not display the x-axis. I don't want the x-axis to be displayed, and I don't want that title. You see that title case? Okay, I don't want that. And then I want to display the actual labels there. So you don't need the x-axis anymore because I have displayed the actual label. I have as label the actual numbers. And then since it's also rounded off by thousands, I can change that to none. So it will display the comma and then the hundreds. Okay, and then I want to change the, so this is for, I think I also need to filter this one. Filter by number of hospitalizations. Okay, so I need to filter this visual by metric type, which is number of hospitalizations. So there. And then I want to change the title automatically so that I won't need to type it in. I'll change it to field value metric. Okay, so there. So I don't need to type number of hospitalizations. I just set it as a formula so that it will retrieve the actual metric that was selected. And then I want to change the color. So I don't like blue. I want it to be like purple. So there. So I now have here the breakdown. Oh, I still have this value. So I'll go to the x-axis. I want to hide that title there. So can you see this new chart? I have the number of hospitalizations broken down by cases. Okay, so the highest number of hospitalizations for those with ICU cases are for heart attack, and then next is COVID. And then if I want to replicate this for the different metrics, so I can copy this and paste, and then I can change the filter to, instead of number of hospitalizations, let's say length of stay. So I have the length of stay. So for COVID cases without ICU, the length of stay, average length of stay is 21, the highest. Okay, and then next is pneumonia. Interesting. The kidney transplant is only 13 days length of stay in a hospital, non-ICU. Okay, and then I want to create another metric for the other, another chart for the other metrics. So probably instead of length of stay, let's check the median. So the median age. So for those hospitalizations with ICU, the average age for the patients is 69. And then for COVID, the average age is 64 for with ICU. Okay, so and then you can continue with the other metrics until you can just copy and paste and then change the filter criteria. And then the value, the x-axis and y-axis values are the same. And then you just continue to copy and paste until you have this this dashboard. And then again, this last portion at the bottom is just a text box. So I just added an text box and added the text there. And then if you want to publish it to your website, you can click this and it will publish to your report services like enterprise website. So are you convinced that it's easy to build a report in Power BI? Do you have questions?
It looks easy, but I don't know if it's really easy or not.
Yeah, it is.
The report seems easy, but the you have to double check the computation at the back end, right?
Yeah, yeah. When you do testing, you have to like manually do it in the back end, or either manually compute or do an SQL and then go back to the dashboard and check if they reflect the same number, same computation. Correct. Yeah, actually, the more complex part is the data manipulation, data processing. So your data might be formatted in different varying ways, and you have to like massage them or process them so that it will be easy for Power BI to read. And then if you also have multiple data sources, you have to like create a union, or you need to create a lookup or link them together if you're retrieving values from multiple tables. Yeah, so the data retrieval and processing are the most complex ones, I would say. But once they're already in Power BI, it's very easy to build a dashboard out of that data. And of course, you have additional tasks of testing and verifying that you captured the data correctly. Okay, it also becomes complex when you start doing calculations. Like for example, your data doesn't have like average scores or sum of values, and then you want to add the sum. You want to add those columns, those aggregate columns in Power BI. Then you need to create new measures and new columns. Okay, and then you do your calculation there. So I have another dashboard that I will show you. Wait, I'll open it first. Okay, wait, it's still launching. Okay, I'll stop and then I'll share. Okay, then. So can you see this EML dashboard? Enterprise Manufacturers Limited dashboard. Can you see this?
Yep.
The theme is brown, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it only has one table, but multiple, well, more than 3 columns, more than 4 columns. And then I have computation. I added computation. So this is what I was telling you about. So if you need to add, like, there's a condition here. If the hours is more than 24 hours, I need to truncate. And then downtime hours, I also have a few computations. So this is where your dashboard gets complicated when you have to do a few computations, because you need to know the syntax of they call it DAX, DAX, dynamic something. So they call it DAX. So you have a different set of syntax. But the syntax is similar to Excel and Power Query. So don't worry, everything is in the internet. You can just query search for the proper function. And then, so yeah, I have here 3 tabs. So I have different charts. So I have the cards, which we added earlier, which we played with earlier. And then I have here the pie chart. Actually, this is a donut chart. And then this is what do you call this? A tree map. Okay. And then the tree map, and then I have here the usual bar chart. And then if I go to the other tab, this is the page that I renamed to defects, downtime, and details. So I also have here the trend line. Actually, this is just a bar chart, but because of because there's too much data elements, data points. I think this is per week. So you see them as they look like grass. So they're actually bar chart. But you can see the trend ups and downs. And then you also have the donut, the tree map, and then a combination of bar chart and matrix. So you have a bar chart and then this labels. And then I also have for my details page, I have here a scatter plot. And then this is composite, I think bar chart, stack bar chart. And then I have here a network decomposition tree and another decomposition tree. So the nice thing about Power BI is that you can easily grab the charts that you need. And if there are more charts that you want to use, you can download them from the Microsoft app. They get more visual. Yeah, there's a website where you can just download the Power BI visuals. You can just download any chart that you want to use. Okay. Unlike in Tableau, you really need to build the formula to build those complex charts. Okay, so yeah, so again, I also have those slicers. These are the slicers, the menu options. Okay, and most importantly, you should know how to read the chart. So yes, so we can easily communicate it to the user. If you know how to read it, yeah, and then you can explain it well as to your users. Yeah, so do you have questions? So are you convinced that Power BI is easy?
Yeah, I have a question. When we publish one of these reports, let's say the one just you are displaying right now, would it be published with all these options, just like the year filter on the top right corner? Yeah, and the other options, or just it would be just like a slide more than a dynamic report?
Yeah, it's a dynamic one. If you click 2018, it will change.
Would that be working after publishing that one on a website or something?
Yeah. If you publish it, actually, I will show you a published version. I'll just stop sharing and then I'll share again. So can you see?
Oh yeah,
the Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I have here. I'll show you the different items in my workspace. So that's EML dashboard. Okay, so this is the published dashboard. Okay, it's published on my workspace. And then if usually for company, they have reporting services so that they can share it to their colleagues. So for this, I'm going just to hide the tabs so you can see more of the area. So if I select the year to 2018, so it will only display values that are for 2018. And then for the location, let's say I want just for the barreling, or it's interactive.
Yeah.
And then if you want for a specific vendor, there.
Very good.
And then this slicer or menu, you can also sync this to the other pages. So that, let's say I selected 2018 in the details tab. If I go to downtime, it should also reflect 2018, but I didn't sync it Did I sync it at this time? I can't remember. Maybe I synced it at the. I was able to sync it. Yeah, it's synced. So I don't need to select them again. So it's already synced.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're familiar with the Microsoft products, especially with Excel, it's easy for you to learn Power BI.
Oh yeah.
And then, so any more questions? I'm actually interested in the cost of hospitalizations. Going back. Actually, can you see my screen? Estimated cost of hospitalizations in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's I just find it interesting. So I'm looking at the data for hospitalizations with ICU. So the total cost, it costs Canada 126,000, 238 to 126, 238,000 for just 34,000 hospitalization. But if you go to the ICU, and then so wait. So that was with ICU. So with ICU for only 34,000 patients, you're spending $128,000. But and then compare it with the non-ICU. So the cost is just 133,000, but and the cost is just 58,000 for more number of people. So it's
Yeah.
really very costly to be in ICU. I mean, for the government spending, with all these people in the ICU.
Yeah, that was meaningful.
And also for the COVID, with ICU. Okay, something interesting. Yeah, for the non-ICU, yeah, still a lot of people are hospitalized for pneumonia, more than the COVID-19. And then the cost is still higher to get the transplant than for COVID. But then the length of stay for COVID is highest. It's 13 compared to the other diseases. It's interesting, for a heart attack, length of stay is 6 days only. I thought they will stay longer in the hospital. Anyway, yeah. So this data is quite interesting. I got it from Kai Hai. They're the ones gathering data on health in Canada. Okay, do you have any more questions? Yeah, if you're new to like dashboarding, the basic thing is to really be able to know how to read the dashboard. If you know how to read the dashboard, then it will be easy for you to build one.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? Should I stop sharing or stop recording?
Yeah, I think stop recording right now would be completing this fantastic demo.
Okay, I'll stop recording now.